Now let's talk about this whole Conor McGregor Paulie Malignaggi thing. Little pieces of the sparring video got released, more specifically the quote-unquote knockdown or the quote-unquote push, and a little bit more of Conor just landing a huge shot on Paulie Malignaggi. In summary, this showed that this was not a quote-unquote push that Paulie Malignaggi made it seem like. When Paulie mentioned that he was pushed to the ground, I legitimately thought that they were like clinched up and Conor just pushed them backwards. And first, let's say this. Paulie is obviously not in the best shape. You can see it from the sparring videos, and he's a retired fighter, so his reflexes won't be there like it was when he was a active fighter, right? And he's put on some weight. That may have affected him getting caught by Conor a little bit. But I'm not saying he wouldn't get caught even before. He still might have. Paulie did say that this was the 12th round. And if it was the 12th round, he did mention that he was extremely tired at this point. So his punch is a little bit labored and he left himself a little bit more open, if you actually believe that. But by going with that, he goes and throws the right overhand, has his left hand down, not defending himself. And after he throws the right hand, he's completely open because Conor slips to the left and gets away from the right overhand. And Conor just returns with a very quick jab as Paulie is trying to fade out to the right. He throws the right hand, ducks, and then slips out to the right. And Conor lands a quick jab and then a left hand. No power in it, just to gauge the distance and to track down Paulie as Paulie is moving his head. And now as Paulie looks at Conor, Conor takes a side step to the right and throws a jab. Paulie, as he's looking at Conor, goes and throws his own jab, but it ultimately misses and Conor lands his own jab because of the sidestep, and he catches him on the outside. He also uses that reach. Now Conor created a lot of momentum moving to the right, and he keeps moving to the right. Now Conor uses the momentum and throws his left straight. Now apparently, you would think this actually lands, right? From this angle, it actually looks like it lands. But from the other camera angle, I will show you here, the punch actually doesn't seem to land on Paulie Malignaggi. It seems to go right behind his head. Now, I don't know if it skid past the headgear and might have connected just for a second, or it just missed him completely. But this is not a clean blow at all. So anyone really saying that Paulie got rocked here and that's why he fell? It seems here that he did not get knocked down. Conor actually threw the punch, went behind his head, and then he pulled his head down. And all the momentum with the punch forced Paulie Malignaggi to extend to the right even farther when he threw his right hand. And by doing that, he lost his footing. And Conor holding his head down made it that much harder for Paulie to get his footing, because Paulie does seem like he tried to get his footing. But Conor holding his head down prevented that, and he falls. So by my judgment here, and by looking at it carefully and objectively, this does not look like a knockdown at all. It actually looks like he got pulled down and lost his footing. Not really a push, though. This isn't really like what he made it seem to be. But in the end, he was technically right. So that covers the push down thing. Now let's look at the other part of the sparring. And right here, you can see Conor is keeping that distance that I always talked about. I said that Conor is going to keep this long distance that boxers are not used to. He has a long reach, but he keeps a very long distance because of his stance. And he took a very wide stance, similar to how he does in MMA. And it worked here. You can see Paulie was not ready for this distance and Conor to cover that distance so quickly. So Paulie takes kind of a Philly shell stance, maybe trying to mimic Floyd Mayweather. And Conor keeps that distance and throws a jab and connects on Paulie. Conor then attempts to throw a left hand as a follow-up, but it misses. And Conor goes and throws a right hand, and this goes right over Paulie's head. And Paulie grabs onto a clinch. And you can see Conor is just bullying him. Conor is trying to prove a point here. And Conor just starts throwing left hands, no technique, just to touch him, make him uncomfortable. And as soon as Paulie tries to return with his own shots in the clinch, Conor ties up and completely nullifies the shots of Paulie. You can see that Conor is very strong in the clinch, and it's going to show probably in the Floyd fight as well. Now we go to that devastating left hand that Conor landed. Again, Conor keeps that distance. Look how far his lead hand is from Paulie, and his lead hand is almost fully extended. He steps on the outside with his lead foot, gets the outside foot advantage, which creates an alignment for his left hand straight down the middle. And Paulie's not going to be able to land his own power hand. So it gets him out of alignment of Paulie's right hand. And he throws that left hand straight down the middle and just catches Paulie. He throws it full on. It connects flush. And you can see Paulie was trying to slip down and to the right of the left hand. He tried to get to the outside of the punch, which is a really good way to defend a shot and return and counter. He was looking to slip on the outside and probably return with his right hand or move out entirely. But his reflexes were just way too slow to get away from this punch. Now, I don't think this will land on Floyd because Floyd is a master at slipping punches like this. But this catches Paulie as he's trying to move, but he just doesn't move fast enough. And I give Paulie a lot of credit. He took this shot really well. I mean, he got stunned, but he took it and he hung in there. Conor then just lands a left and then a right hook. Paulie starts to look at Conor, and you can see Paulie is just dazed right now. And Conor goes and throws another left hand, almost identical to the one he threw before. It kind of like clips his chin a little bit and hits his headgear. And then Conor just starts throwing punches at him. He knows Paulie's rocked, and he's just trying to get him out of there. Starts throwing punches as Paulie's ducking, but Paulie's ducking because he's hurt, and he's trying to instinctively avoid shots. And Conor just lands shots, lands a couple lefts to the body. As Paulie's back is turned to Conor, which is very dangerous, something you never want to do. Conor just goes and lands a left over the top, and it's not really a technical punch. He just throws his hand out there and connects on Paulie hard. Well, that's the video, guys. This was a quick video. I just wanted to get out really quick. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. This is what I saw of this whole Conor and Paulie thing, and I'm kind of glad they actually showed some footage, so we can all have a glimpse of what Conor can actually do. And this is the 12th round. Conor looked pretty good, pretty energized, and Paulie looked a little bit labored. It showed that Conor does have pretty good cardio in this boxing world, right? But this is sparring, and this is a little different. So we'll see by fight night how really Conor deals with the speed of Floyd and everything else. And according to Paulie actually admits in a way that Conor won both the sparring sessions. And now all the boxing experts, all the naysayers, all the people who say the most ridiculous things like Conor won't touch Floyd, Conor won't even touch Paulie Malignaggi, Conor cannot hurt Paulie Malignaggi, these experts or boxers or the coaches that underestimate him completely, he's already proven them wrong in one sense already. A lot of them actually thought that he wouldn't do much to Paulie Malignaggi. He did a lot to Paulie Malignaggi, as just from the little sparring session that we saw. We didn't see the whole thing yet, so it's hard to assume everything right now. But you cannot count out Conor McGregor. You cannot underestimate him, because if Floyd underestimates Conor McGregor, Conor could knock him out easily. Conor is not someone to be taken lightly in any combat sport. So I hope this shuts up these quote-unquote experts, because they're feeding the casual fans this type of nonsense, right? The casual fans don't really understand much, and they listen to these mainstream experts, right? They buy into everything they say, and they're giving them wrong information. They're giving them the wrong perspective, and this will drive away a lot of people from watching the fight. And this is only harmful. Like me, I try to educate people. If you're a casual fan, if you're a hardcore fan, if you are in martial arts, if you're not in martial arts, I try to educate everybody. And when you have these people go out there and give people the wrong information, doing the reverse of what many real analysts try to do, it's no good for anybody. And that's kind of where I draw the line as well. That is something that I'm trying to do, and these people are trying to do the reverse of it. And now, I guarantee you, the boxers that said they would not watch this fight, or the journalists of boxing that say they won't cover this fight, guarantee they're having second thoughts now. Now I guarantee they're all going to watch the fight. They're all going to try to cover it now, referring to the journalists. So this leak of this video might actually raise it a couple more pay-per-view points, buys and everything. I think it got people more interested, and even the naysayers are probably more interested now too. So I think this was good for everybody. And I'm really excited for this fight. I hope you guys are as well. I can't wait for it. In my next video, I'm going to give my prediction for this fight. That should be out probably tomorrow or the next day, so be on the lookout for that. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.